In this video, we will see how we can import a CSV file in Postgres. This is very powerful because a lot of open source data is available as CSV files. For example, let's have a look at the data that we can get from one of the most powerful communities in data, which is Kaggle. At Kaggle, you can search for a number of data sets. For example, if we go ahead and search for data sets, you can see the data sets which are trending. You can also search for data sets which are of a specific domain, for example, healthcare, financial care, and so on and so forth. Let's search for a very simple beginner level database. We look for data sets. And here we have a simple loan classification dataset. Let's see what do we get here. In this dataset, we have 8 columns which are representing age, gender, occupation, education level, marital status, income, and credit score of a person. And based on this, a loan status is predicted. So we have these 8 columns available as a CSV file. Let's download this data. For this, you need an account at Kaggle, which you can create for free. When you click download, here you can download it as a zip file. Now we have it here. We can open this up to have a quick look. It's loan.csv. And here we can see that we have the age, gender, occupation, and so on and so forth, and a lot of data points. So let's try to import this data into our Postgres. This is now a two-step process. Here, first of all, we need to create a database. Let's call this as a loan database. Now the first step that we need to do here is to create a table so that we can import this data into that table. In this table, you need to specify what are the columns of this table and what are their data types. So for example, if we go back to our Kaggle, we can see that age is an integer, gender is category, occupation is also category, and so on and so forth. If you are new to SQL and you don't know which data types you use or how to create a database, AI can help you here. So what we can do is we can take all the variables that we have here and use our dear friend ChatGPT or any other AI tool which you like and ask it to create a table for our PostgreSQL. We can specify that I want to create a table in Postgres with the following columns. Ask it to write the SQL query that can be used to create that table. So here we have specified all the parameters that we need. Let's also provide a few sample rows so that ChatGPT knows or our AI tool knows exactly what data will be fed into the database. We can copy a few of these and paste them here. Let's quickly verify that it is creating a table called individuals. You can call it individual or you can call it as a loan categorization table. We have a look at the columns. So here we can see that it is including a serial column which is not here. We don't need this column. We have age, gender, occupation, education level, which is a character, education level, which is a string, so characters, then marital status. So everything else looks okay. So let's copy this SQL code. We will remove this serial primary key from our query. So we come to our pgadmin and here we create a table. To create a table, you right click on the database, go to the query tool and paste the query over here. Here you can adjust whatever you need. So for example, you can specify that I want my table to be called as loan categorization, and we don't need this primary key. For the time being, let's say it looks okay. We don't even need all these checks. Let's leave it as it is for the moment, but if we feel that we are getting any error, then we will remove this. Now we have our query for creating the table. Let's run this. So a table has been created. We can refresh our database and we can go back to our schemas and check tables. And here you can see that a table has been created called loan categorization. It has all the columns that we have specified, and so far everything looks good. This was step number 1. Let's save this. And here we can create a folder called loan. And under this table, we can save this as our loan.sql. We can also bring our loan.csv file in here. So now step number 2 is to import the CSV file in our database. For this, on the table name, you can right click and say import/export data. And here you need to specify from where do you want to import the data. Our data is in our downloads folder under a folder called loan, and it's this loan.csv file. So you can click this. You can verify that this is a CSV file. You can specify the encoding to be UTF-8. If you are sure that there is any other encoding, you can pick that one. Check the options. Our CSV has a header, so we keep this header option checked. In case our CSV did not have a header row, we could have removed this. The delimiters are commas. We specify if there are any quotes, any escape signs, and so on and so forth. Let's verify which columns we need to import. We want to import all of them. And then we click OK. So the process for copying the table data started and then it is completed. And now we can refresh our table and we can check if the data is there. So we have refreshed our table and we can right click and look at the data, view or edit data, and let's check the first 100 rows. We can remove this from here and our data has been imported. So with this, we saw how we can use an open source data set, which is coming as a CSV file into our database using pgadmin. To recall, it's a two-step process. You need to first identify what are the parameters of your dataset. You create a table using those parameter values, and then you import the dataset. Now that we have our data in the database, we are ready to perform queries on our dataset.